It's about my check-in response. So let's go back. So I shared my picture of me naked in my house. And you went, how many weeks is that? And you just went, going nowhere, man.
No, I meant as in the weeks are going nowhere.
Um,
Sorry. Shit. I'll have to go back to that. Sorry, it meant the weeks are going nowhere because you shit, man. You go nowhere, just pack it in.
yes.
Just give it
Alice
up.
like saw me and was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I mean, surely read this. And she was like, oh, 7 weeks down, going nowhere, man. Sideways eyes. And I was like, I've read it in the Nor I went, oh, well, hold on. Going nowhere, man. I was like, no, it's no better.
Oh, you mean when you kind of like don't, when a text can sound wrong?
Yeah.
Like
So I did
it
it in
can
your
sometimes sound
accent.
like an argument, but it's not.
Yeah,
You're going nowhere, man. You're
I
going
did it in
nowhere, man.
Geordie, and I was like, it doesn't sound any better. It still sounds like I should quit.
No, what it meant was the weeks are going nowhere, as in
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
And obviously you've got in there because you've got like one push, a pullback, and a prep, haven't you? Really,
that's
that is
it.
it.
That is it. This
So it is just flying by.
is all to play for. But we planned on another 9 weeks, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm just not,
there's nine. No, hold on, let me think. This is week 8, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
beginning.
yeah, it is. So on week 8, yeah. So you got 9 weeks to put on.
75 pound of muscle.
You can put 2 pounds of tissue on in 9 weeks, and at least 1 pound of tissue on leg speed
Well,
with
if I
all
can't, then yeah.
with all that Interex that you're taking and all that stuff.
Oh,
Now, I was just having to dig at that guy who commented. Did you see the guy who commented on the last one with James? And he's like, yeah, no point talking about small doses when you're not a genetic freak. Don't tell lies or something. So, well, if you don't like what they channel, then just fuck off.
yeah, yeah.
No
The
harm
guy
done. There's
was
nothing to lie about. Like, you know.
it's the entry of the guy who's going to be a cunt now is please stop. Please
Yeah.
stop saying what was it? Please stop generalizing. And it's like it's not very long.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, we have to generalize a little bit, and it's only really a natter, isn't it? We're not. This
Yeah, it's
isn't.
just some boys chatting shit. We're not trying to say, like, hey, this is the rules. You got to do this or else. We don't. We're
Right.
not speaking in absolutes. Like, chill out. But I shouldn't know. I shouldn't reply to those guys because they're just in the comments to get a reaction because they haven't got any friends. So really, I should have just replied. Oh, but I couldn't resist on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not really bothered if people like talk shit about me, but if someone talks shit about my friends, then yeah, I'll step in and
It's.
type something about you.
I will. I will type things against your
Yeah.
character.
Mm.
JV199194999. Then
It's the
you'll.
same as those guys on Instagram who comment, and sometimes you just think, "Oh, click on the profile," and they've always got 0 posts, no profile picture. Like it's just the same shit in it. It's the same old shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just cunt me off with your real
yeah.
profile. Hey, if
It's just you and me, Dan.
you're not pissing someone off, you're doing it wrong, basically. So,
What's the old saying? Hate never comes from above. That's the quote of
oh,
the day.
oh,
Yeah, you like that one, don't you? Now,
oh yeah,
see,
I like that one.
I've got loads of them. I'll keep it. What's another one? I'll think of it as another good one as well.
Okay.
It's gone.
Right.
It's gone.
We got to the end.
I'll
We got to the end of the
yeah.
podcast to embark
Well, this
the
is just going to be a little quickie one with just myself and just Mr. Davis. We are going to do one weekly, and if Leroy can chime in, great. If not, we'll just crack on and bounce them out without. But we all
this
got
is the
Mr.
New
Davis on
Year's
board.
special. Don't play it down. It's the New Year's special.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. It's like yeah, three. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Wednesday.
still 5 days till New Year's done.
It's Sunday.
Oh
New
no,
Year.
no, shit! I am totally lost. Like I'm
It's
thinking it's
definitely not.
Friday. It's like 3 days.
Definitely not.
Well, I better get that right because I've got some books for New Year, so I better turn up the right day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely look into that.
yeah, it is. Yeah, because I'm going to go down and do legs in the morning before I pick Leah up because I've got Leah for the New Year's celebrations, so that's cool.
How was your Christmas? Did you did you
I've spoken to
enjoy
you since
yourself?
Christmas. I mean, just quiet. Just
No.
um, I didn't do much to be fair. Did I train? Oh yeah, I went to the gym. So Ultraflex we had an open day 9 till 12, free to train. So it was quite busy. Good atmosphere down there. And again, the same people who were banging on Instagram, like, oh, look at you, Sadak's training on Christmas Day, and like, oh, you got no friends. I'm like, maybe they went to the gym with their friends, and maybe
Yeah,
they saw their friends afterwards.
yeah.
Like,
Maybe,
I
maybe.
don't understand these people like chime in, but again, it's the same people who just want some reaction and whatever.
Also, like maybe they don't have friends.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all right.
Maybe.
But yeah, we had some people sending some DMs and they post on the page saying, "Oh, all sad. Oh, 364 days of the year, and you can't leave that one day out." Like, oh, it's my sleep
Don't
sick
get me
pattern.
wrong. I think if you've got
And then the
Nana
one
at
day,
home, I don't. If you've got Nana at home waiting for you, and you're like, "Sorry, Nan, you get fucked, mate. You know, I'm going to the gym." Then yeah, you probably are.
yeah,
You can. But some people who don't have the family, or they don't have the thing, or they got some free time. Fuck, and you want to train, just fucking train. But yeah, I wouldn't like
yeah.
if your whole family's waiting. Oh, Dan will be back from the
Sorry,
gym. So
sorry, I've just got 3 sets of Bulgarian split squats left. I'll be home in 45.
just like
Yeah, everybody just
FaceTiming
makes a
in
big
from the
deal. For some
tripod.
people, it's just another day. It's just another day, man. So
I
never mind.
yeah, it's not it's not I try and find it a bit of an inconvenience if
Did you train on Christmas Day, Dan?
no, and actually I went in on Boxing Day to train and the gym was so full I left.
Yeah, you're just not hardcore enough if you didn't train on Christmas Day.
I was like I just
Pardon.
went in, I was like, fuck this. Like it was fucking rammed. And then by the day after Boxing Day, no one was training. So I was like,
Yeah, we've been pretty quiet since Christmas Day, to be fair.
but
But
it
then
was
the only reason I
fucking
went down was because Mark was nice enough to open up, so I wanted to go down with Mark being in, and I didn't have my daughter till later on in the day, so I would have just been sitting around anyway. So just went down,
yeah, man.
got a quick pub,
There's no,
man, said hello to some folks.
there's no right or wrong. Just fuck go if you want to go, but probably don't tell your nan to get fucked if she's waiting for you. Um, so with you, am I doing an intro? Welcome back to
Yeah, let's
a
do it, Dan. You got to
hardcore
do it.
fucking New Year's Eve special. It's just me and Anth because it's going to be like that sometimes. But we've made a pact that we will broadcast forever hardcoreness all over everyone once a week. And if when we can get the guests, we shall. When we can't, we're going to be here anyway. So
We've actually
watch.
got. I need to message Joe again. We've got hypertrophy coach lined up for the
Yeah,
next
he's.
one. Few people have actually asked if we can get Zach back on. Zach can't,
That's.
so I'm sure we can get Zach back on as well
I'm
and
sure
please talk
Zach
us
would
some crap.
love to. I'm sure he'd come over and offend everyone.
Yeah, a
You get a
few
little
people
bit of a
like Zach.
boost. I do like Zach. I do. I do. I can just
Actually,
like.
we'll be good to catch up with him actually, because I'm pretty sure he's just had shoulder surgery not that long ago. So we'll see how he's doing. I know he's back training and stuff, so we'll have a catch up with Zach at some point, see how he's doing.
He had a bit of a push on his social media, didn't he? Like
Yeah, I've seen him come alive a bit again.
calling
So hey,
everyone.
we all know the deal. We all got to get a bit more active on there. Especially myself. I even had my super tripod tool out last night, Dan. So I did some barbell curls yesterday,
I did see
and
that.
I can't like nothing against the tripod. I just can't use one. So I've got one of those things that you like put on the machine, the
The little
clamp thing.
grippy
I
things.
can
Yeah,
use that, but I just can't be walking around with this fucking like it's
I have
like a
actually got.
dialysis machine.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
in
it
the
reminds
hospital,
me
in the hospital, fucking walking around with this thing.
like the drip. Is it
I
one
mean,
with like?
I've got one for my office and kitchen when I'm going to do some stuff. I've even, Dan, don't hate me. I even got one of these. Have you saw those things that you put on your neck so you can just walk around and do like POV kind of point of
Oh, what
view?
like the when they used to have a harmonica in it, and you'd be like,
Yes, I've got all the tools. I just need to do the stuff.
I've got none of these tools, but I do have a the one. It's got like legs on it, and they're like bendy. Is
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
that what you mean? I want like a magnet one. I saw them on Instagram. It's like, yeah, magnet, and you like stick it to all the kit.
Nah, I wouldn't trust my fucking 2 grand phone to be smashing on the floor with that.
Mate,
So
mine is this case is invincible.
yeah,
It makes the phone 9 times bigger than it is.
you've said that now. You're going to smash that next week in the gym. But no,
Yeah,
jokes aside, I know the deal, man. We get requested for like videos and
yeah.
stuff, and I am going to get a little bit more active on social media. I know it has to be
I'm
done. So
I'm gonna do it. So if you want to see Grandad's entries, I'm gonna do it. Join them. If you can't beat them, join them.
hey, if it adds value, I'm
Oh
on
yeah,
for it. So it's all
I'm
good.
trying. I've been experimenting with having a few subjects to talk on. And as it's the new year, one of the things was how to approach the new year. Obviously, it's a new year. Lots of people are like, oh, this is the year. I'm gonna get fucking massive, or I'm gonna do a show next year, or I'm gonna do this and that. Like, how's the best way to actually make it happen? Because you make that post every year, don't you?
Yeah, I do tend to. I think I posted that in the past from the Facebook days. That or let me think. A good 5, 6, 7 years, I'll put the same post every year because it's still relevant, I guess. Like you just said there, everybody gets all fired up in January. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I want to do a bodybuilding show, all that kind of stuff, which is all cool until they realize kind of what's involved or the kind of dedication that you do need to do correctly. If you like, anybody can compete in a fashion if you like, but if you want to get up there looking like you should be up there, then it is quite a lot of commitment, isn't it? So
Yeah. And
there was
I
a
think, I mean, everyone says like, oh, who cares bodybuilding? Like, who cares like winning a show? Who cares? And that's right. But it's the promises you make yourself that should be like the strongest. So if you've said to yourself next year you're going to do a show, if you've said it out loud and you're actually going to put it in the diary, just that should be unwavering. There shouldn't be anything
yeah.
that should get in your way. There's a few exceptions. Death is one of them. People don't look great on stage if they're dead. But ultimately, um, those promises you made to yourself are important, and you've just got to put a show in the diary. I mean, well, one time in the past, put a show in the diary, and maybe I should have not done it. But as soon as that's in the diary, it's getting fucking done.
Yeah.
It's getting done.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's kind of looked at upon as like a little bit again, I don't want to sound like a dinosaur here, but like it's just cool to compete now. Like if I was ever thinking about doing a bodybuilding contest, I'm competing to compete and trying to win. But now it's just seems to be like, oh, let's do bodybuilding show. It's cool. I'll document the prep, my Instagram, all that kind of stuff. It's not really about the end goal, is it? It's about the whole shazam, all the kind of surrounds it, if you like. But yeah,
the,
I mean, I did screenshot it, Dan, for you probably see because I am blind because
yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
my glasses on.
So the three main points with it, that there are, a lot of people will have seen some contests. They think it's cool. Ultimately, a lot of people don't go to contests, so they've seen it on Instagram, and
Yeah.
obviously that kind of makes it a little bit worse because it definitely seems easier when you're just seeing mil what looks like millions of people doing it on Instagram, and people on Instagram aren't recording themselves at 5 in the morning staring at the wall because their body won't let them sleep.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a
Or
lot
they're
of that.
looking, or they're like in 4 in the morning looking in the fridge and eating ice cubes and stuff because you're that
Yeah,
hungry. Like,
yeah, like going, oh, I
like
wonder if I can make EAA ice cubes. Would that be food? Would that be like,
done that before, Dan. AA and diet lemonade ice cubes. How sad as that sounds.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but like no one's really, and also it looks quite like glitzy and glamorous.
yeah.
It's ultimately you sat on a bin bag. That's show day, really. You're sat on a bin bag.
Let's try not put people off from competing, but I get what you're saying because of social media and stuff. You're seeing a little bit more of the good side of it, type of thing that looks all glammy and glitzy. And then don't get me wrong, there's some brilliant aspects to competing, of course, but yeah, I think it misses out the bits where
Yeah,
I mean, some people do post themselves crying and all that stuff. I don't know whether it's legit, but you don't really see the hard side of it, if you like, where you are fucking tired of shit and you've got your 12-hour shift at work to do and all that kind of real life stuff. It's all kind of glamorized a little bit online, isn't it, nowadays?
yeah.
So,
And also lots of people are trying to sell you the next hack so that it's not hard.
yeah.
Uh, I've never really seen that work. I think when you get bigger, and also when you've got a few shows under your belt, that fat's only been sat there for like a year. I do think it is easier
Yeah.
on the next few rods. You've been hanging on to body fats, for 10, 20, 25 years and never got like in. That's the hardest fat to get rid of. You've had it for fucking your whole life. So I do think probably the first go is hardest because that fat's been hanging around, but also because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
Like,
my first contest, I wasn't in shape. I wasn't lean enough, but I wasn't due to lack of effort. I fucking killed myself doing like 0 carbs and 2 hours cardio and all the things I should have done, but I just didn't look the way I should have done. And probably for that reason, because like you see, it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people do get lean. It's fine. a lot of people don't nail the conditioning 100% for the first contest or the second contest, or maybe even the third. I think it was Jesus, like I was fifth or sixth contest where I got the conditioning correct. So yeah, that might be a factor.
And just mental conditioning,
Yeah,
like that, like having that grit of like, oh, we're here. And now, like when you expect it, you're like, well, I know that it's not forever, and it does like roll out. And then yeah, your three options were they do a contest prep, get in great shape, compete, possibly even win, get bitten by the bug from being on stage, and fall in love with bodybuilding. This is obviously like
that's the one that we hope that happens. Yeah,
yeah. Two, they just keep saying that they'll do it next year, but next year is always next year, and that actually never comes.
yeah, we do know some people like that as well. We won't
Yeah,
say
there's a lot
names.
of next yearers, and then
Yeah,
they underestimate what it takes to get in true contest condition, show up way off, place badly, get very disappointed, or drop out last minute as their head melts. And obviously, like that's probably not going to get you the bug for bodybuilding. It's usually my add-on for that is it's usually accompanied with holding too much water, it being politics, and
yeah. And that my nana said I was the best, so didn't mind. They do like a massive like Facebook status or Instagram post, like of the reason. Like I say, I always say the same. Like nobody makes excuses for winning. So you got these
no.
massive posts and all this stuff, and hey, just
And
go. I
you
said,
get
just go. If you fucked it up or you got your ass kicked, go away, bash your bedroom up, have a pizza, and then start again. You don't have to explain to everybody what went wrong or all this kind of stuff.
um,
Unless maybe you're an Olympian and an athlete and you have to explain to your fans what's happening. But yeah, like you don't have to put these massive fucking statuses up
it's
about
also
everything that
you
went
have
wrong.
to like people do remember. So I do remember seeing some people and they lost and it was politics and the judges are dickheads and
Yeah.
then they win and they're like, oh, I can't thank everyone enough. The judges are the
Yes,
best.
there's no excuses when you win, man. The judges are right when you win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the judges are corrupt. Well, if they're corrupt, then how did you win? If it's it's just when it's turned around, it's all fine. But yeah, but yeah,
I mean,
we put down some. I put down like 5 things to do. If it was it for 30 days or something, off. I can't
yeah,
remember
it was
now.
just because this kind of links into the like a lot of people, and this goes with the like the science stuff and all that. Like science is wicked, and it's really good to get into all of the nuances and get really deep in it. Like, it's good, but a lot of people are missing a lot of the beginning and middle, and a lot of social media content isn't filling that gap of just the
Just
basics.
the bare bones of it all.
Yeah, and like also people say, "Oh, fucking these guys, they're old school, talking about keeping it basic." We're just saying, like, start there,
Yeah,
and
if you can do that bit, then you kind of win type of thing. That was the point of the post. If you could do those few things, which I'm sure you're going to roll off now, because
yeah,
I
go
can't
on.
see on my phone. If you can do those key aspects for a month solid, then maybe competing is for you. But if you can't even do that, that's like the beginning. That's when things are pretty easy. This is before you're getting tired. This is before your head's starting to melt. This is before you start to juggle all the other stuff when you're on your arse near the end. So this is the first 4 or 5 weeks. If you can't do the first 4 or 5 weeks of what you're going about to roll off, then
Mm.
you're going to struggle kind of when it gets rough.
And this is like also usually linked. It's like, yeah, but when I start prep, then I'll be able to. You know, people that thinks like I work better under pressure, and you kind of know they don't. You know, and like
Yeah,
when yeah, but when it's there, then I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna like it goes back to the next year thing. So the 5 points you had was train as hard as you can 4 days a week. Most people could probably do that.
yeah.
That's pretty good. Eat 5 clean meals a day.
But that's every day, not missing a meal, not having a cheat meal on a Wednesday and a Saturday, and not
Yeah,
just solid 5 days. 5 meals, sorry, for how long is this for? Was it 30 days down or something, or 4 weeks?
yeah, it was like I think it was just a month as like a tester. So
Yeah.
get at least 8 hours sleep every night, or at least lie in bed thinking about blending
Yeah,
people.
that's us. Yeah, that's yeah, but it's true though. Like you say, a majority of us do that even before. Like if you're watching TV, that's what it used to be before we had social media. Most of us are guilty of like going on shit before. You could easily add an hour's sleep on your schedule if you just got the fuck off your phone and left it
Yeah.
alone.
One thing
Prioritize.
when you're in bed, don't look at your phone. Just make that rule. I think that's a huge rule.
Yeah,
I think like
unless
if
it's
you're
watching this podcast.
yeah,
Those are the
unless it's
reasons. Yeah,
watching this podcast.
we're telling you all the things to do.
Yeah, but no, on a real, if I go to bed and I can't sleep and I put on a podcast, I think I'm not looking at the screen, but that's still
Yeah.
like a lot better than flicking through
Yeah, you
stuff.
think, oh, I'll just go on my phone for 10 minutes, and like 3 hours
Yeah,
later, you're watching TikTok to somebody
yeah.
who's fishing in Guatemala where you've got no interest in it, but you're just watching it anyway. It's
Oh, but
weird.
mate, I found myself on the fishing thing. I actually kind of am into it now. It's fascinating.
Yeah, that's
The other
social
one
media.
was do 30 minutes of cardio every morning. This is where people are going to start coming unstuck.
Yeah.
Um,
And your time. Yes, you have. Get up 30 minutes earlier. That's all you got to
yeah.
do.
Well, yeah, you go to bed an hour earlier and then wake up 30 minutes earlier. Got it.
Doesn't matter. Hey, doesn't matter if you start at 5. I used to know guys doing cardio at 4 in the morning. It just
Yeah.
does not matter what time it is. You can do it. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. So,
Well, on the
but
reverse, when I did security, I'd go and train at like 5:30 in the morning.
yeah.
Um, then I'd go obviously and sleep, and then first thing in the morning for me was like, 1 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter
Yeah, you
where
just
your day
reschedule
is.
everything around it, don't you? That's
It
basically
doesn't
what you
matter
got
where
to
your
do.
day is. For me, morning is when you wake up. So I had some semantic arguments about that. It's not the morning technically, but it's your morning. So just you know what I fucking mean.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
not
people are gonna,
ideal, but it's not ideal, but that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. It's really that
yeah.
simple.
Uh, and I was the morning cardio thing. I think the most important thing is if you wake up early and do your cardio, lots of people haven't got up yet, so they can't throw shit at you to stop you from doing it.
Yeah.
If you like leave it till later in the day, I think it's better to just tick before anyone's even up. Just fucking get it done.
I know there's a whole thing about the whole fasted cardio thing. I know all the science says it doesn't make any difference, but I honestly think it does on a kind of mental level, like you said before. You just get it done. There's nothing can kind of sidetrack you from getting it done later in the day. I do think it sets you up mentally as well. And from my experience, since I've had the whole diabetes thing, my insulin sensitivity is vastly different if I do it early in the day. So that's just science part, if you like. I don't know if there's any studies on this, but if I do an hour of fasted cardio versus an hour of cardio later in the day, it makes a big difference to insulin sensitivity, which in turn will help
Yeah,
body fat loss a little bit, if you like.
yeah.
So I do believe fasted cardio is better if you can do it that way.
Um, and then drink 4 liters of water.
Sounds easy.
You'd be surprised how many people fall at these.
Yeah.
And even when I'm coaching people, I think this is why I get into arguments, sometimes lose people, is that they want to get given this, not put any time into just doing this, and they're like, can I do some drugs? Or,
Yeah.
what's next? And it's like, I feel like you need to earn like that. And also, you need to set a base. Like, and I think there's loads of people in the gym, and you see them in the gym, and they're using the drugs to basically get away with not doing these things.
Yeah, I always make the point of when you say performance enhancement. So if you're not performing, then there's nothing to enhance with those things. So sorry, I sound like Barry White today. I think I've got another throat infection coming on. Awesome. Never mind.
Um, so that, yeah, I mean that was Ant's yearly post, and it is like if you're thinking about doing it, try that. And you can go into science and moment arms and all that shit if you want, but unless you've got that, like you're really not in a position to even worry. And go and
Yeah,
watch
like you
Back to
say.
Basics with Leroy Davis and Anth Bales. It's on YouTube, and it is very basic. And use that to train and then, and then evolve it like everyone else does. There's no middle bit now on the internet. It's like, and surely people must be
Yeah,
going, well, I don't fucking know what he's talking about, so that must be good. So I'm gonna do that.
yeah.
Um,
It's getting a bit crazy, isn't it now?
well, in teaching as well, they used to say that like someone who really knows their shit can explain it to an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of the stuff is just you know, they're not targeting their demographic of just normal people by breaking down this science stuff and making it into things that people can understand. They're just shitting it at them. And people are going, I don't know what that is. That's wicked. I'm gonna try and
Yeah,
do.
that's why I'm not very good at videos because I will literally say what needs to be said without any spin on it, and it will be over in like 10 seconds. And then
Yeah,
that won't that,
yeah.
that won't cap that cap that won't capture the audience or whatever, all that kind of shit that they say. Like
Well,
that's the way my mind works. I'll tell you how I think you should do it, I think, I'm not saying it's the right or wrong way, how I think you should maybe do it, and then I won't
mm.
add all this weird word salad on and all this spiel that you got to add on there to get clicks and views. Which again, that's why I'm not in that. That's why I haven't really been doing much content, to be fair, because most of my content is just training. Like, hey, this is how I train. I'll explain why I do an exercise. But unfortunately, because my arm's been injured, I haven't really been doing any much kind of training worth watching, if you like. So I'm just not that type of person who likes to speak into the camera for fucking 20 minutes of my workout. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not me. So
I'm going to try it
um,
out.
yeah,
I'm going
do
to
it.
try it
Dan,
out.
you're good at that type of stuff. And like I say, if it really truly does add value to people's kind of workouts and stuff, then do it. But it's just not my thing. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit better. I'm kind of getting a little bit more enthusiastic about it here and there when someone, hits you a message and says, hey, I saw your video. It was great help, whatever. We had some comments on the last podcast, thanks for all the DMs and stuff. To be honest, I do a lot more on DM. But again, it kind of eats into your time a lot. So maybe I should do some more like stuff that I can put on my main page, what does reach a few more people, obviously, rather than the DM.
Well, you
Because
could
I do like answering questions and stuff, but that is one of the things I'm going to have to pull back on in the new year because it is eating into my day a lot. Replying to
well, you
DMs
could
and stuff.
use the prompts from your DMs to just make videos, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. To be fair.
Probably not a bad idea. So here's the follow on is all right, you want to do a show, it's the year, like it's the new year. Like, how would you go about like actually mapping out the year? Because everyone's like, I'm gonna do a show next year, or someone goes, I'm gonna do a show next year, and I'm like, well, when's the show? And they're like, April. And I'm like, well, you're not on prep now. So
Yeah.
January, February, March, like people like next year sounds like ages away until it is next year. And then, how long do you set a prep up for? How long would you block that for?
I guess there's one important variable is if you're an assisted athlete or not, isn't it? Are we allowed to say the S word on here? But yeah, if you're an assisted athlete, like we just spoke about before, Dan, if you were hypothetically taking performance enhancement drugs, we would work out like how long you got to push in an off season. You got to have a break. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to have a break, but ideally you have a break from those things somewhere along the line. Then you work out how long your prep is, all that kind of stuff. You just work back on the calendar, don't you? And just give yourself extra. I always say the same thing when people say, "Oh, I can get ready in 12 weeks." Why wouldn't you give yourself 20 just to give yourself some room for any errors, or maybe you 1 or 2 weeks you might not make the right call on you didn't drop the carbs that week, or you didn't increase some cardio, and you didn't make any progress. It just gives you a little bit of cushion because ideally, like how much I'm saying ideally, like let's say you stayed in there. We've said this one before. If you stayed in your off season for an extra 8 weeks, how much muscle are you going to gain? Even on performance enhancement, it's not a lot, is it? But you could lose like 16, 17, 20 pounds of body fat in that time, at like 2, 3 pounds a week. So I would
Yeah.
rather start somebody early, give them a little bit of cushion to get it off. I always did like 20 weeks, and I used to stay like reasonably lean. I
Mm.
mean, you're
I
going
mean,
to give yourself 20, is it 18 or 20, Dan?
yeah, usually 20, yeah. I could
I mean,
usually
you're
get
not exactly holding a lot of body fat because there will be weeks where you probably have a shit week or something goes wrong, or you might get sick a little bit, or you might have not made progress that week. So it gives you just a few weeks here and there
I
to
think
kind of
it's yeah,
navigate that.
it's much better than getting to the end and having a push. And if you make it, you got time for spare. Like everyone's like, oh, I was ready too early. That's not a thing.
It's very rare. I think the only people I know who's been ready, maybe Dorian Yates, and I can't really think of anybody else because everybody's always teetering and tickling like near that end bit of like not pushing too hard or not or whatever. It is a sticky phase,
Mm.
like the last 4 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like especially with people that are new and stuff, that last bit is hard. And making the call of are you going to get that body fat off without killing all their muscle, like, could it, and also there's runway, isn't there? Like, what was your starting point like? And like the cumulative stress, like,
Yeah,
you know,
you can get it off fast, but generally if you do it that way, and let's say you do have to really put the pedal down the last 4 weeks and overdo the cardio and stuff, you generally end up looking a little bit like a little bit stringy, a little bit kind of not as
Yeah.
poppy as you. Is that even a word? Poppy? You know what I mean, Dan. You
Yeah,
just look a bit tired. Basically, it
yeah,
shows in your physique if you've had to kind of
yeah.
pull out all the stops the last 4 weeks.
Which is the ideal situation. It doesn't always pan out like that. If you've got to
Yeah,
fucking try and drive, you have to try and just try and like balance the pros and cons of what you're trying to chase, you know. Or you might get someone
yeah.
lean and you realize that say you know, their legs are really lacking and flattening out. Like, do you chase like super extra condition at the cost of the shape? Like, because it's not a getting in condition competition, is it? There's a balance somewhere.
Yeah, I've been on the both sides of that fence because when I turned pro, I thought, yeah, like I never had like striated glutes, but everybody in the pro ranks had striated glutes. I was 212 class, flex Lewis, striated glutes. I'm like, yeah, let's get the striated glutes. And I just looked fucking shit. You know, I was just flat, tired, just lost a lot of leg sweep. And I know everybody says, oh, I lost the legs, but yeah, generally I did because I was just pounding away at the cardio. Everywhere else was in, and I was just trying to get these lines in my arse, which genetically they're just not there. I've had them there a little bit, but yeah, that's just the whole. And I always looked a little bit heavier. Looked a little bit better. Just a little bit heavier and rounder. Some physiques are like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you know, if you're looking at the people like trying to put this to like the Olympia, like it's not that then
Yeah,
you know the people who are winning the Olympia. I mean, but even Samson, like,
yeah. I was just going to say there. So everybody saying, oh, Muay said the same the other day. Like, oh, Sam should come down a little bit. Maybe he would look worse. I don't know until he does
yeah,
it. I guess.
yeah, you do.
Um,
Sorry, I shut my door. The dog
just
opened
give it a tour of the house, Dan.
it. Yeah, the
I was
AB
just waiting for the I was just waiting for the camera to pan down. Then you had all like trousers on, pair of scrolled up boxer shorts.
extra views, mate. Extra views. I mean, yeah. So the thing of like starting next year is like be realistic about like how long that actually is, and that's you know if you're using enhancement like right now, you're going to need to come off and then start prep, and then
Yeah.
like that's not actually a lot of time. And people think, oh, I'm going to do next year, and they wait for it and wait for it, and then you just do the maths on it, and you know the season does finish, like, and then you're like, fuck. Or I've had people come and they're like, oh, I want to do NABA Britain or whatever. It's like, you know, you do have to actually qualify. And they're like, shit.
Yeah, they just forget about all that stuff, don't they? Again,
Well, I think
you
that
got to have your health phase. Everybody calls it health phase now, but
health thing.
try and have a health phase in there, get some blood work, all that kind of stuff. Pull back on the trainer for a little stretch. 52 weeks doesn't go anywhere. To be fair,
Mate, it's
a
like
year sounds like a long time, but it really isn't in the
I mean,
competitive bodybuilding field.
ultimately the pros that are doing like say they're just the Olympia, they're doing really like one push, aren't they?
Pretty
Like
much.
show to show, they're doing like one push and then they're back. And that's usually why you see them like not get that like hours, unless you're like Levrone and you're already like big enough, so you just take 3 months off after the Olympia,
Yeah,
and then. But I imagine if you're watching this wondering how to map your year out, you're not Kevin Levrone.
you're not Kevin Rowan. Yeah,
So,
you're not doing 100-pound dumbbell curls in your face.
double pills. And also people like show dates. Oh, what about the show dates? And it's like, well, they're usually quite similar to the year before. So if you're worried, go and look at what last year was before they're released, and they're usually pretty close.
Yeah, there's honestly, like you said, now there's a lot of shows. I just saw I was supposed to be speaking to the guy from is it Beyond the Stage? They
Hmm.
just posted up a bunch of show dates, and there's fucking so many shows now. It's crazy. There's literally a show every week if you want to compete.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Uh,
sound really old here, but when I started, there was like the local sports centre show. There was the regional NABA qualifier. Okay, and back then you had to do your own regional qualifier because if you were from the northeast, you couldn't go to London and do their kind of qualifier. And then there was the Britain finals in the universe. That's it. Like we didn't have any UKBFF contests qualifiers in mind until I actually started doing the qualifier. There was no PCA. There was no like all these new. It was crazy. You literally had like 4 contests in the year.
yeah. NABA actually just changed that. So you can do,
Yeah, is it the last year or so they've changed it? You can do your
yeah, you can do
area
any of
qualifier.
the, which is a good move for NABA. It needs to diversify. But I remember, yeah, before you had to do your area and you had to win
Yeah.
your area. So if you're not the best guy in your area, you're not getting to the British. You're not, you know.
Yeah, I do remember just a little backstory on that. So one year there was this will go way back. Only guys my age will remember this guy, a guy called Stuart Cameron, rest in peace. Yeah, he passed away quite early. He was in his 20s. He missed his qualifier. He was from Scotland. I think he ended up being junior Mr. Britain in the end. So what NABBA did was they allowed him to come to the NABBA North Britain, and he could stand in the lineup. He wasn't being judged. He was just being judged, which some people thought was a little bit unfair. But he was just being judged. Is he good enough to go to the final? So he couldn't win that contest. He would have won hands down. He's a monstrous kid. He was huge. And again, he did go on to win the NABBA Junior Britain finals because I was standing behind him back seriously. Like, yeah, like who's this guy? But yeah, they allowed him to stand in the lineup, just got the nod to get the invite to the finals, and then he did go on to win. But yeah, some people said that was a little bit unfair. But anyways,
What?
just a little backstory.
Because I had that in 2018.
Yeah.
Because they cancelled the West.
Oh yeah, so you couldn't win. Yeah, you weren't allowed to win the show.
So
yeah.
they said go to the Welsh, and they didn't say I couldn't win, so I went to the Welsh, and yeah, they just stood me and spanned me and went, "Oh, we'll give him an invite." Fuck off.
But yeah, this wasn't due to the show being cancelled. I think he just missed the qualifier for some reason. He missed the Scottish qualifier. Yeah, I remember the Welsh thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
That could be a long podcast. We're trying to keep this a quick, short one.
The other thing with like show planning your year is money.
Yeah.
It costs.
I mean, I had a coaching client who did some contests this year and they qualified for the universe and stuff. And I just said, listen, like you're not really in a financially viable place to do it. Like my advice would be to give it a miss this year. They're only young. They've got great potential. It just would have caused more issues than you know what I'm saying. When you try to prep with no money and stuff, it's just a snowball effect of hitting the end, and it affects how you look on stage as well. It affects how everything goes. So
I mean,
you have to have like a financially stable base, don't you?
I've definitely been there, like where the moment I left stage, I had nothing, like no cheat meal, like no nothing. Like I've definitely like been there because you're so focused on the end thing and like just managing to buy my trunks. And yeah, there are times when I was like, what the fuck?
I've known people who have literally had a bike to work because they couldn't afford fuel in the car. It's crazy. Like, again, is that being dedicated or is that being like James said on our last podcast, is that being a little bit kind of slack in the other areas of your life? Because you do have to have that base down. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to be rich and loaded with money, but you have to have like your rent, your bills, and like your car tax paid before you can think about buying some fucking humor.
I mean, and there are other ways that you can save money, different types of foods, and like you can do it on a budget, and I have done it. It's not to say that it was ideal, but it can be done. But you need to make sure that you're not already scraping, because obviously, if you were to use performance enhancing drugs, that's going to cost some money. It's obviously like that's not the most expensive. The most expensive is the food, probably. And then like, are you going away? I mean, now with like Two Bros, their shows are actually to enter them are really expensive, and then tan's like £100. Like it's the most expensive spray tan that you could buy. And so if you're going to do a regional and a thing, even just from the spray tans and the qualifier, you're talking like £500. And if you're a girl, the bikinis are like, I mean, the bikinis are lovely. They're usually handmade, but they are
$2 million.
They also like £500 as well. So at least
I remember years ago, I'm not mentioning his name. You do know him. I'll tell you after the podcast. Down, just don't want to embarrass him or anything. But he probably wouldn't give a shit anyway. But like a friend of mine, he did another qualifier once, and he literally had no money for any pro tan. And I wish he'd have told me because I would have given him some money. But anyway, obviously proud and all that stuff. And he wore something from Avon, like this fucking duo tan or something. Like, honestly, it looked horrendous. But like you say, it can get really expensive. It can get really expensive. So
yeah, just
put your money away, guys.
If you're gonna plan and do it, just make sure you've got a little bit of an emergency fund to do it, because ultimately, like, it is a hobby. And even if you're winning pro shows, what you're winning like a pro show, like that's $5,000. Like it's not a year's work. Like
don't get me wrong, they have increased the like smaller pro shows and stuff now, but it's still not a lot of money. You're not going to make a living
Yeah.
from winning
Yeah.
lower level pro shows. You're
Yeah.
definitely going to not make a living, winning like PCA
Yeah. And then
draws and stuff.
there's the balance isn't there of like it being like like is it worth it? Like you've got to like figure it out. It is a hobby, but you're probably not doing other stuff. If it's your thing and you love doing it, loads of people spend loads of money on hobbies. So, and then it's like the thing of like if you're young and you want to compete, like do you wait to compete until you're like good enough? There's like a middle bit because really you want to go and stand on stage because you might absolutely fucking hate it and just be like, I don't want to do that. And that's probably like some information to get fairly early on. So I never really know how to advise people on that. Do you have a thought?
I always just tell somebody to actually go along to a bodybuilding contest and have a look, see what people look like on stage, see what it's all about. And I just say, there's times when people have come to me and have said, like, oh, do you think I'm ready to do a bodybuilding contest? And I'll just be honest and say, probably not. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't shoot them down and say, hey, you're not ready, you look shit. But I would say, maybe wait maybe a year or two, put a little bit more tissue on, trying to give them some, positive encouragement, like, hey, you've got a nice shape, and just give it a little bit more time. I would never say, so, hey, just don't do it. I would
Mm,
try and give them like a bit of friendly advice. But I always just say if you're going to do a bodybuilding contest, you shouldn't look like a bodybuilder, really. Like
yeah,
it's
I
like
mean
me, if
that.
I'm going to turn them, hey, I'm going to do a 100-meter sprint race. Like I should actually be able to run. Like you
Yeah,
should actually look. You don't want to embarrass yourself by getting up there and
yeah, but I
looking
mean
like a
that like
bodybuilder.
now because there's so many like different categories. Like there is and different federations. Like most people can be competitive somewhere. So
Yeah.
difficult to say, oh, could I be competitive? Well, most people somewhere, um, can be
Maybe,
competitive.
maybe not so much as in the men's, because as a guy, you do have to actually have some muscle on your frame. Where some of the ladies, and I don't mean this as any disrespect that they're not working hard, but some of the ladies that can maybe do bikini, they've been born with a nice structure, small waist, small hips, all that kind of stuff. By the time you stick the suit on and all of the bells and whistles, same with some of the other female classes. But I think the guys, even if you're doing men's physique and you're not training legs, but in classic and stuff, you got to actually have some muscle on your frame, don't you?
Mm.
So unless they actually bring this, the new what's the new women's class now, which makes it even more accessible. Sorry, I don't
It's
remember the name of it, but there's a new class.
yeah,
I
it
can
looks
I can see that coming along for the men soon, where you just like, hey, I've got some abs, like there's literally nothing else, and
mm.
some
I
nice
mean
hair.
I mean that's kind of what physique started with, wasn't it? But now they're all actually pretty big.
Yeah, some of the physique guys are huge. I mean, I was looking at Ryan Turry earlier. He's fucking awesome physique. He could probably do like a 212 or something. He's actually got a big pair of legs, Ryan. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone because it's flashing off there. But yeah, some of the physique guys are huge.
So it's weird because it's an evolution, isn't it? Because before there was like just bodybuilding and bikini, they're like really, and then female bodybuilding, one that like monsters and like it was
I don't even think there was bikini, was it, Dan? It was like men's bodybuilding, ladies toned and trained. Would that be right? Back in the
um
day?
I mean it's a little bit before my time, so I think probably you'd be
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah,
you'd
yeah.
know.
Yes, all right, Dan. Rub it in. I am that old. Thanks very
Uh,
much. I'm pretty
um
sure it was men's bodybuilding and ladies was toned and trained. I could be wrong, but there
and
wasn't like 55 classes like there is now.
yeah, so but like the ones that the like it's all kind of evolved, doesn't it? You had like physique and also classic bodybuilding was kind of just it was almost like smaller bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And now obviously it's become its own thing, which is like it's genetics, isn't it? You're either born to be classic or you're not. Like you can't just be a small bodybuilder. You have
Are
to
you
have
telling me if I can do an archer pose down on Disney on classic?
yeah.
Yeah, I would never be able to be a classic bodybuilder, no matter how much I kind of did all those archer poses and all that kind of stuff.
I
And some guys do that, don't they, unfortunately. They do try and be, because they want to be in classic and they want to have a mustache, and they start doing all this twist and back shots when they're really just a smaller bodybuilder. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not in classic, dude. So
you're just not going to get that far. I mean, from other people that are like classic and they're really good and then try and move into like open, that never usually works out very well either, to be honest. Um,
didn't who did that? It was pros did that. It wasn't no, they went the other way around, didn't they? So Regan
Well,
Grimes actually
Regan.
came down to Classic, didn't he? Yeah. It was
Yeah,
the
I
other
mean
way,
that.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out, did
No,
it?
I didn't go well, did it?
Um, but yeah, I think the classes are just like evolving. Also, I was thinking like classic bodybuilding is like the older era. Like, how long until the older era is Ronnie Coleman? Do they like, will they then
Mm.
just be bigger and then open will be smaller? Like, where does it end?
Yeah, we are in for a weird. I'm not saying weird. It's going to be a different, like 3-4 years time where we'll see where kind of bodybuilding goes, because people are already kicking off now about this new class in the IPB, saying there's way too many classes and stuff. So how many classes are they going to keep introducing and stuff? I've seen some. You've seen these contests overseas where they've got like, I don't even know what they call it, where the guy's got a suit on and he's opening his arms up and stuff. Like, sorry, the suit to show his arms, but he's got like trousers and stuff on. But it's classed as a bodybuilding show. Like, is that bodybuilding? I don't know.
I mean, it used to be pageants, didn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it was a beauty pageant, not a bodybuilding contest.
yeah, like, and that's cool, but they are different.
Yeah,
They are definitely like,
people at pageants weren't taking like Chamberlain and stuff. Maybe. Or
or
maybe they
were
were. I
they?
don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Were they? I mean, that's my list done.
Really? How long have we been on, Dan?
45, 50.
Yeah, we need to talk about some other shit then.
Yeah,
What
I'm right.
about the Arnold Classic? It is literally, is it 9 weeks? Because everybody's doing their predictions.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to.
Mr. Hollingshead sent me some pictures. I think it was last week, and he's looking pretty lean already. To be fair,
There were
big
some people
Jimmy.
on this lineup. There was Patrick Moore's back in. I thought that was cool, although quite amusing.
Do you want to pull the list up, Dan, and we'll do our top 10.
I've
I'm
got.
sure there's
Well,
only 12 guys.
I just got
Arnold.
this photo that you'll inevitably not be able to see. I'll send it to you. You could zoom in.
Take a look, man. Let's take a look. Because we're so organized.
Yeah, Della
Oh,
Rosa.
Dan, that's on a list. That's a poster of like 15 people juggled all together.
That's what I've got.
No, it'll be on the IFBB website.
You're telling me that I need to go on the IFB website.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
that's
got
what
your
I know.
list on.
Oh, no.
Arnold
22.
Classic competitor list.
Uh,
Men's Open. Because
oh,
Arnold doesn't have a 212 class, does it?
oh, yeah, no, Arnold Classic.
Damn, I was going to put that's why I was going to put my application in.
Yeah.
Not just because I did some barbell curls yesterday doesn't mean I'll make a comeback. Team elbow.
I don't. It's given me. Yeah, apparently it's Bjornsson is doing it. So I guess that's why. Oh, here. Is this it? Oh, fuck off. Where's the list? Full rosters revealed. Go on then, fucking reveal them. Bonac, Clarida, Brandon Curry,
Right,
Samson,
here we go. Here we go.
Della Rosa. Should I screenshot this and send it to you? Oh, fuck.
We'll just read them out. I've got my top 5, 6 anyways. From
Hold
who
on.
I know is doing it.
Oh, well, I'm going to send it to you now.
Because Lunsford's in it as well, isn't he? Very
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Yeah. Right.
And hasn't Patrick Moore kind of, unfortunately, went backwards a little bit since he tore his Achilles? So I don't think he kind of. It's
I
hard to come
mean,
back from that
how?
when his legs were already a little bit light anyway, weren't they? So
Yeah. I mean, how old is Patrick Moore now?
I think he's getting on there. He doesn't
Isn't he
look
like?
old, but I think he's
He's got
getting
to be
up there.
50, surely.
Nah, maybe mid-40s.
Oh,
Ask ChatGPT.
gonna
Right,
ask.
let's have a look. Yeah, isn't it 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
How
Yeah,
old is
12
Patrick
guys.
Moore, super heavyweight bodybuilder in the IFBB? Let's have a look. I reckon he's 50. I'm gonna just say it.
I say 49 and a half.
Oh, fuck you.
49.75.
He's actually my age.
Or 200.
No, he's 1984. Why do I?
I'm like, yeah, I get it. He doesn't look old, but I just assumed
No,
he
he
was
doesn't look
older.
old at all.
Yeah, for some reason.
Maybe it's because he just disappeared for so long. I just assumed it was 10 years, and it probably wasn't.
Right, I'm going to blast this straight off, Dan. Straight
Got
away.
him.
I'm going to go. As much as we want on my man Honza to take this, he's got his hands full here. Yeah, there's some guys with like crazy structure and stuff.
I mean, is
I'm gonna
Samson just
go
an absolute blanket first? Like, probably.
unless he comes in way off, which I can't see. Because even if he comes in a little bit off, he's don't get me wrong, he wasn't shredded for the Olympia, and he still won the Olympia. So
He was definitely the.
he's just got enough of everything, hasn't he, Samson?
He's ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's probably grown since the Olympia.
I'm gonna go Samson. I'm gonna go Derek.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Andrew Jacked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go James,
Yeah.
and that's not me being biased. I think James is going to bring something a bit special this year, even better. Then I'm gonna go.
Reckons Clarida's got a shout next.
I love Sean's physique, but possibly yes. So we'll go Clarida, Brandon Curry, because unfortunately I think Brandon is on the. I'm not going to say the decline, but he's a little bit older. He's kind of. I think he's seen the. Everybody hits the peak and then kind of levels on and comes down. I think he's
It's just his.
unfortunately
It's
he's on
just
that
his.
trajectory, isn't he?
It's just his legs. I think his uppers held really well. Because Brandon Curry actually must be 50.
Yeah, he's up there.
Um,
Then I'm gonna
and it,
go John De La Rosa or Akeem Williams. I don't know. Those two are tight. Two totally different physiques, but
I mean,
if Akeem that
Carlos was looking insane.
from the front, Dan,
Mhm.
from the front, he's an absolute mutant. He is lacking a little bit from the back and the condition. I haven't actually seen him in condition yet.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Is this going to be the show that he does that?
If he
But
does, he's up there in like the top five, but that's a big if, isn't it? So what have I
well,
got so far? Have you been writing these down, Dan, in your chart?
no, no. You said
Samson,
Samson first,
Derek,
Lunsford, Andrew Jack,
Jack, James,
James
Sean Clarita,
Clarida,
that's five. And
and
then the
then
rest are kind of a big total. Sorry, six, Brandon Curry.
Brandon Curry, then De La Rosa.
Or I could switch those. No, sorry.
De La Rosa.
Brandon De La Rosa and Akeem, I could switch those around, but I'll just go that top six because the other Justin Rodriguez again. I think that guy's seen his best kind of days so far. Unfortunately, he's kind of regressed a lot the last couple of contests. I think he's midsection and
Do
stuff.
you think Bonac's done?
Oh shit! I forgot about William.
Because I mean, in his heyday, when he came second in the 212, he was phenomenal.
Didn't Bonac come second or third at the Olympia once?
Um,
Open. I'm pretty sure. Forgive my ignorance here. Sorry, William, but I'm pretty sure he was way up there.
maybe it was third. I think he came third.
Possibly. Right now, I've just because William's right at the top, and I missed him there. So I'm going to go Samson. I'm going to go Lunsford. I'm going to go Andrew Jack. I'm going to go James because again, I think he can take William out because William has kind of slipped back a little bit. I'm going to go Sean Bonac, and then either De La Rosa, Akeem. Those two are a switch up, and then the other guys is just again Carlos Thomas Jr. depends if he turns up in shape. Patrick Moore, I think he has his hands full here, but yeah, I'll go with that. I think Big Jimmy's going to crack the top five this year. Well, he's hit
Um,
fifth before James, hasn't he? Actually, that's kind of an ongoing joke. I think James tells. Or do you see this Carlos Thomas Jr. having a big upset, Dan?
um, I
I'm going to say no. I'm not going to be negative, but I'm going to say no. Sorry, Carlos.
I don't think this is the show where he blows everyone else inside out. If he does, then everyone will be so surprised that he'll jump up into top three.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I don't think like it is. Will he end up like a Lionel Biecki or however you pronounced his name?
Yeah,
Uh,
what has actually happened to him? Is he just kind of retired now?
well, he was a lot older than you'd think as well, actually. He was, yeah. I mean, he just came the same. Just,
Actually, he didn't. The last show he did, the last contest he did, he actually came in really bad. If I remember, he
oh
came in
yeah,
like
no, it
not
was
off, but
worse.
like
Yeah,
fat.
yeah, it was.
So I don't know what happened there. Maybe he was forced to do by sponsors or whatever. But
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was worse. His last one, and then I thought, well, yeah, that's got to be. But he didn't. Yeah, he had the muscle. Um, yeah, it was just one of those things. His shape carried him solely. Um, I mean, I mean, it depends. Bonac, um, it doesn't actually tell me which of the two 12s. None of the placement, 2017, 18, 2019, 2021. So in 2019 he became second.
In 212 or open. It'll be open, yeah.
Yeah, it
It's been
says
a
it.
long time since he was 212. He was 212 when I got my pro card. He was doing 212 back in 2012 because it was. I remember seeing him, Flex, Ricardo
Yeah,
Correa.
yeah. So that was earlier. So by 2017 he'd moved and he got third in his first one. And
Yeah, I knew it was second or third. I
I
knew it was
think that
right
was
up
the
there.
one that I remembered when he first crossed over. And then it was fourth, second, fifth, sixth, and actually last year he was seventh. So he's
Did
been
you say second there?
seventh.
Oh, I said second. Sorry.
No, so I mean he's not to be messed with. You know, he's come top six. Like, oh, he took 2 years off, didn't he? Yeah,
Yeah, I
2020.
think he's just a little bit older now, and he's the exact same thing is happening when everybody really gets older. The midsection gets a little bit wider, and the limbs start to like lose a bit of pop and a bit of fullness.
Well,
Unfortunately.
the thing with Bonac is that he was so compact that
Yeah,
like you'd see even an inch on his waist, wouldn't you? I remember seeing
yeah,
Bonac in real life, and he was really short. He was really short, and but seeing him on stage, it's like when he was maxed out, like even when he come and transitioned, I was like, there's nothing more that can go on that frame. There's no space.
yeah.
Kind of
Especially from the side.
a bit like Clarida. You're like, where would you if you had a magic wand? Where could you
Mm.
put more to make that look better? And it kind of wouldn't.
I think the only place Sean could put some tissue on would be the pecs. But
Mm,
I just don't think he has that rib cage. I'm sure he's not lacking in chest training. Just he doesn't have that rib cage span because of his frame. And plus, the huge delts don't help either. So
yeah, yeah, he's
come on then, Dan, give me your top five quickly. Let's straight off. Boom.
dun, 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 dun. I mean, I have to the first and second. It has to be unless Lunsford just absolutely fucks it. Then it's Samson first, Derek second, and then I think Jax probably is the safe bet.
Yeah.
Um, and then you said Brandon Curry.
No, I didn't. I said James Hollingshead.
Oh yeah, you said Hollingshead, then Curry. So Andrew Jack
No,
Holling.
I'm pretty sure I said Hollingshead, then Clarita, then Brown and Curry,
Oh yeah, Hollingshead, Curry.
then Bonac. I have no idea.
Then you'll have to watch.
Again, I'm not just being biased. I do see James moving up this year.
Yeah, I think he's yeah top five. But I think they're all, I think those are set. Top three is like set, I reckon, unless anything.
Top three, top six could be a little bit of a mix up, and those other guys are just in the frazzle for the rest, aren't they? Depending
Yeah.
who comes in condition or not.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen Andrew Jack fuck it up yet.
Yeah, but he still doesn't come in like rock hard, does he? The two looks he's had is the one that he won. I can't remember. He was a little tiny bit flat,
Mm.
and then he came in a little bit too heavy. So he's yet to kind of
Yeah,
get in the
kind of.
middle. And when he does, everybody's in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, he is a fucking mutant. And the only
He is the one who can challenge Samson, really, isn't he? If he comes in shoot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only thing with him is his limbs are slightly longer, so they don't look as full as Samson. That's why,
Yeah.
if we're absolutely picking, um, yeah, like upper arms and also lower legs.
Somebody actually made this comment about he has really thin forearms, which throws off his physique, which you would never think a set of forearms would kind of like be relevant, kind
Yeah,
of
I
like
mean,
calves, but they do look a little bit weird, especially in like the side shots and stuff.
yeah, I think where they're really, I think they're just really long, and it throws some of his posing. So if he's doing like, a lat spread, like,
Yeah.
and he's like got them right in, then it kind of throws the silhouette
Just
off.
show us, Dan. Just take your shirt off. And
Right there.
I've seen you all that spread this morning where you look like someone just bolted, just rotator cuffs together.
Oh, mate. I was like trying to shake it off. Like, oh, mate. Those first thing in the mornings when I'm feeling my age. I threw my back out doing the side chest not last week. Like I was like,
Sometimes I think you're going to start doing some body pop as you do this. I can't remember the last time I hit a bodybuilding pose. It's a bit sad,
oh,
actually.
oh, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come together now. When you drop about 20 pounds, you'll get a little bit more flexibility back. So
Yeah,
that's all good.
it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. Um, yeah, we'll see. I'll just see whether the old man has some life left in him.
You know there's life left, Danny. You wouldn't be
Life
doing all that
left.
crazy shit.
We shall see.
What we were saying about when you've got to like get your finances in order. I mean, so what you need to do is just have a month where you can just come to Durham and live in my office, or you can come live in my house if you like, as long as you're not
I
making a
slept.
mess. Because you're a mess. I won't swear you're a messy twat, Dan. With your fucking. We used to bring like your blender, that stupid tune and all that shit. And I'm sure you used to have a Foreman grill as well.
Yeah,
Was it you with the Foreman grill? Because obviously now everybody's got an air fryer now.
yeah. I don't
Yeah, you
know.
just have to come here for a month and you just train, eat, and sleep, and that's it.
Foreman,
You're not even gonna have a mobile phone. I'll do all the
you'll do my
content.
you'll do my check-ins for
I'll
me.
do all the check-ins. Not sure about
No,
that.
you're
Actually,
so polite.
we need to start getting some kind of little bits of tags and stuff in thingy, because obviously people don't even know our coach. I don't even think a lot of people know you coach either. To be fair, but again,
No,
because we're not out there online and stuff, and I've been coaching since I can't remember now, like, at least 8 years, possibly
mm,
10. I'll have to go back on my first. I've got a really cheesy YouTube video. Like it's horrible. I'll find. I'll send you it. It's like coaching services available. Boom. But I don't think you even done like a. I know you have your coaching page, but you've never actually done like a video or anything advertising your
no,
coaching, have you?
not really. I'm gonna try and get on it and push. I've had like pretty, obviously, I've not attracted like like fully experienced people, but had some good results with people with their first shows, like winning stuff and
No, I've
market.
seen some of your guys who come in really good, really good standard as well. So
So like
get
it's
your
good.
name out there, Dan. Get your
So
name out
it's
there.
a. I think I'd. Well, when we started, there wasn't really coaches. So like, if you'd done a show, maybe you helped someone who hadn't done a show. And if you'd done 3 shows, maybe you helped someone with their second show. Or it kind of like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's how I started. So I did a few shows, and then people said, "Oh, you're doing all right. Do you mind giving me some advice?" Yeah, yeah. And again, you're not charging for this advice. It's just giving
That
someone a helping hand and just getting a bit of experience and stuff. We used to do all the check-ins in Max Muscle. Like everybody would just come in on the morning before we opened, do all the pictures and stuff. And I did. It was good. It was cool back then. It is a little bit different now. But
yeah,
again,
like
not
and you do
worse
it
or
from
better, just different.
you do it from the gym as well. Like, and at the competitions, they'd be like, out of this gym, and it was like the
Yeah, they
community.
don't even say that anymore, do they? They used to always have
No,
on your entry form. Now, actually, some people ask your social media handle now, don't they? That's what they ask. I think maybe Two Bros does. But yeah, it used to be from yeah, so and so. Because I used to hate when people used to say Anthony Bears from Maxi Muscle. No, not Maxi Muscle, man. That's
yeah.
shit. Max
And
Muscle.
and it was cool as well for a few of you. When I first started, like Trojan used to have a few, and a lot of the categories would be like, from Trojan Fitness, and like, you'd feel like part of something. And yeah, the people that helped you were like there as well. And that's not kind of
Yeah,
bodybuilding, a little bit more spread out now. So online is the obvious like solution, but it was quite in-house. And there are some nuances that are better that for sure.
yeah.
And you should go and try and see your coach, like if you can. I do try. I don't think that you could be further away.
Yeah, it's a shame we are like 9 years away. I make that joke every time, but that's the first time I've done the Bristol trip with Matt. And I was like, like, what is this? Like,
It
it's
is a slog. It is a fuck.
it's not just the length of the trip, it's just like a shit trip. I think it's just one long straight. Like,
Yeah,
look, and I wasn't even driving. I wouldn't even make it there if we were driving, if I
you.
was driving. So look, literally, Matt was driving on cans of Monster and nicotine, like listening to army podcasts and shit. But yeah, we won't do that anytime in a hurry, Jan, other than if we get on the train.
Alice is on the podcast. Well
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Can you clip that bit out?
done. Nothing's getting edited. Sorry.
Well, there was nothing drastic happened there. She just walked past the camera.
Yeah,
I got my dressing gown.
she's devastated
That
about
could
it.
have been bad.
It could have been worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Come on, Dad, give me one more subject before we head off. We will get used to this, me and you just chatting shit here and there.
Yeah. Well, I thought we covered like some good bit. Oh, Alice has decided to turn the air fryer on. That's really useful, Alice. Do you want to just not do that
This
for a
is the,
second?
no, you can't hear it. This is what our podcast is, Dan. It's real life.
It's real life. Just 2 minutes. She's tried to duck out of the camera. Oh, put me on the spot now. I wrote a list and everything. Now I've got to
Yeah,
come on.
so we got Joe Bennett lined up. We'll try and get Zach back on. I'll shoot Zach a message after this. Milos actually said he would come on after the Olympia. He sent him a WhatsApp, so we get Milos on. Anybody else who you would like to have on, Dan? Have a think.
Oh, I mean, I really liked having Evan on. I'm definitely an Evan fan.
Evan's cool. I'm sure Evan would come on again.
It's fucking
Discuss
cool.
his hip replacement and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Any new ones that you're a fanboy?
I'd love Branch Warren on.
Oh shit! You know Branch is cool, but he's busy as shit. And you know what? I'll ask him. I know I can't really think of many podcasts he's done. To be fair, can you?
No, you don't see him a lot, so I reckon
Uh,
that's what we need.
I've actually got his number. I'll send him a WhatsApp and see if he'll come on. Please, Branch, come on, make Dan's day. As soon as I see a big pale nasty wants you to come on here. You motherfucker, I'm on there. Give me the time.
I'm there, motherfucker.
I don't know if that was Mr. T or Branch One. I don't know who's a combination. What the fuck was that?
I reckon we
Sorry,
just
Branch.
I reckon we just cold call Marcus Rule.
He doesn't really speak that good English, though.
Doesn't matter.
Marcus? No?
I don't care.
Just as
Doesn't
long as he's massive, because he's still got massive doubts. So we'll get him on.
Yeah, we'll get him on just for the 10 minutes and then we'll just hang up on him.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who I would like to have on, actually. I'm trying to. Lee Priest's pretty cool. I'm sure Lee would come on if we asked him nicely.
Lee Priest, you have to do so much editing. He's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, but we don't make any money off our channel. We've only got like 3 subscribers.
No, but
we are working on that.
What he said on the Bash Bros just couldn't.
Yeah, you had him on there, didn't you? Shit, yeah.
Yeah, it could not be aired. It's not possible.
But,
why don't we let the audience decide?
yeah, comment below. That's how you get that algorithm going down.
Comment below.
See how we're learning all this stuff.
I reckon we can. Well, Anth has got the links. No one gives. I've got no weight, but
yeah, you have, Dan. You've got the contacts, but yeah, we'll get Joe on. We'll get Milos on. We'll get what was the other one? There was another one.
Yeah, Rule.
I've forgotten already.
Marcus Rule.
No, I don't know Marcus Rule, so you'll have to do that one, Dan. You'll have to do it one, Marcus.
I'll just pretend I know him. I'm just scanning through, like with. I'll have a think. But yeah, if anyone has any ideas, let us know, and we'll do our best.
Okay, man. But like I say, myself and Dan will be on at least once a week if we can get Leroy on. Awesome. He's a busy guy. He's a busy family man with work and stuff, etc. So Mr. Davis will pop in when he can. And yeah, we'll get some guests on. We might even get some YouTube shorts up and stuff during the week if you guys give us some ideas what you want to. Yeah, we'll get some stuff on Instagram, Dan, ask some questions and stuff. And I'll do at least a short a week. You can do a short. So we've got 2 shorts and 1 podcast per week.
What's a short?
A YouTube short. It's like
Is it just a short?
It's like a minute long kind of video that displays like this instead of this.
It's just a short video.
See how shit we are. We don't even know what YouTube short is. Go on your YouTube page, Dan.
Yeah.
And then just scroll down and you'll see these little things.
Okay.
Basically, it's like TikTok on YouTube.
Okay. I think
we are the tech kings.
I think yeah, I've been on TikTok.
Yeah, I've got a TikTok and I need to get busy on there, to be fair. You need to get busy on there, Dan. You need to get all the social media platforms down with the cool kids.
I'm fucking shit at whatever TikTok is. But yeah, I'll work on it.
Right, well, let's get our air fryer on.
Yeah.
You try and love bomb Marcus Rule via DM.
I'm gonna do it right
I'll see
now.
you next week, man.
All right, mate. Big love.
All right, over and out. Catch you later, man. Bye bye.